The automatic state is a concept relatively new that I came up with thinking about authoritarian regimes. What an automatic state means is technically just like any business model. You want to set up something, aka a machine, that functions in such a way that it simply reduces the amount of workload that you have to do, and that workload is handled by someone or something else. In the case of numerous businesses, well, the people who reach the top positions, they reach top positions because they have the money to simply allow other people to handle the jobs they don't like for example, cooking or driving, and this way they win more time to handle on their own things. Now, when it comes to a state, the state that is an authoritarian regime would technically want the same thing because it will always seek those who are the most primitive, those who are the simplest, because they will mindlessly do that which the system wants. That is why the first phase of an authoritarian regime will always be the cultivation of the persona, or whatever it's called in English. It's the idea that everyone must be the same as the, ruler. This is a huge downside if you think logically, because if everyone were like the ruler, aka most likely apathic, everyone would simply die because of the same weaknesses. Because in a in any organism, be it a biological one like every one of us, or a business, a country, there is the idea of diversity that ensures survival, right? Though we have white cells, right, and blood cells in our bloodstream, right, which act as conduits, which act as pillars of our livelihood, right, our life support system. Though we call them white cells and blood cells, right, red cells, the point about these is each of these is technically an individual, right? It is unique in their own way. And being unique, the point is very simple. As they are unique, they perform their own duties in their own unique way. This ensures that technically, well, even if their job is the same, each will do it in a different or slightly different way with more or less success odds. Now, this diversity is, highly needed. But when it comes to more conscious uh, beings like humans, for example, well, diversity is even more important because humans can live just like animals and everyone do the same thing. You just need to keep humans in the level of um, survival. And in a sick society like we are living in, it's kind of the thing that is happening. People do the same thing. It doesn't matter how wise you are, it doesn't matter how stupid you are, you just do the same cycle of life. You wake up, go to work, allow some other people to gain money out of you, and, you keep calling yourself irrelevant and serve a society that doesn't serve you back. And well, you get back home without any energy to do the things that you really want, and most likely you rinse and repeat. Most likely you will have some time to eat or take care of the so-called family, because in a sick society where people are ignorant, there is no such thing as family. Or the cases are way too few. Because a family does not include, codependency, right? Let's dish out codependency and family abuse. It doesn't matter what direction it is, it doesn't matter who is the one or the ones who are abused. But the point is, if you rule these out, you have very few actual families that really care for their children. But the point is, you can't care for someone else because in a sick society, you have to care for those who rule because they should be the examples you have, right? Why do you think this society has so many tools to simply so-called teach people what to do? It is what I call the automatic state because, well, you want things to go in such a way that you don't want them to be rehandled by you, right? You want them to be handled in such a way that they go smoothly without your attention, so that you can focus on more other ways. What are the globalists and the propagandists doing? Well, they're teaching people how to comply by having them do the same things again and again and again and do things for more than 21 days, and it may just become your new normal. And the point is, by doing this, they will have people who will most likely try to police others as well by using shame, guilt, fear, right? These emotional states which easily rule people. So just like in video games, you want to make your processes in such a way that they work smoothly, right? Because ultimately you're not the one uh, running the video game, right? The platform, first of all, is not yours, just like society is not yours either, right? But the point is, the machine is also running the game. So you want to give it the proper instructions on how to do its job and how to do it smoothly, so that you don't need to pay any more attention on the processes that you already made function, right? So with those um, out of concerns, then you have more time to simply focus on expanding, right? And in a sick society, the point is, people are wanted to be complacent because that's technically the automatic state. When no one is fighting for their freedoms, the point is, people simply induce the automatic state, and the state simply functions automatically based on impulses from the people. And so the ones in charge have simply more time to, well, implement new measures of keeping people under slavery, right? Because the point of a slave state is that it just wants slavery. It's never ever gonna stop. So the point is, this usually happens when, or especially when, sick societies are crumbling, just like this one. And obviously, the ones who easily comply will keep fighting for the so-called fallen beast because, well, that is their comfort zone, and they've been inducing most of the energies in their life supporting that system, and they don't want out of it because they can't comprehend something different, right? These are the people who are always prioritized. But the point is, you should never seek to become favored in a sick society, because becoming favored in a sick society means that you'll automatically be a traitor of something else. And, well, since the idea of a sick society is that the sick society itself is never ever comprised of the people who support it. It's only comprised of the people who rule it. Because those who support it are just the so-called, what are they called? Well, they're just chess pieces, right? And, well, there's that particular chess piece which is always sacrificed first, right? While the others usually win the war. It's the same in military and in real life. It is always the first lines that are simply, sacrificed. And who's the first lines? Those who comply the first, right? Because when you comply, you're technically a traitor. You're a traitor towards yourself and towards your kin, more or less. So the point is, if you're a traitor and you betray that easily, no one needs you, because obviously you'll betray again, should even more favorable circumstances appear, right? So being favored, right, in a sick society is never the best thing, because an automatic state is always a cyclic state. Why do you think it's always needed that a sick society has few people? Because a lot of people, it's hard to sort them. When you have few people, well, you need the ones who think for themselves dished out and, preserve those of the lowest quality, the scum. Because, the scum does nothing else than simply reproduce and comply, which is technically what an automatic system wants. You want more slaves and you want them fully compliant. And then the point is, when they become too many, well, most of them will simply be obliterated, right? Because obviously a sick society can never accept too many, because there can never be too many for a narcissistic mind, right? You have to be just a battery, be farmed of the narcissistic supplies that are needed, and, well, then be discarded, because what's the destiny of a battery? It is created, it is vibrant with energy, it is depleted, and then discarded, right? And, well, a sick society is just like a machine. It needs its own batteries. So all this being said, hopefully this video was introspective enough. You are appreciated. Take care. Your Engine Power signing out.